So let's begin. What's up, Doc Sheets? I'm hunting in Google. So we're going to talk about Google Docs and Sheets. So your presenters today are Bugs Durham and Elmer Milroy, and Forrest, I didn't come up with a good name for you. I'm so sorry. So we're going to be helping you guys today learn something about some Google Docs and Google Sheets. We're also going to record this, which you heard me say, and we're going to post it in on the edtech.vccs.edu/webinars. So that you can go back and review it later, or you can actually get a copy of the slide deck if you'd like and take a look at that. So I'm going to turn off my camera because that's a bit distracting. And let's go. So what are we going to do? Well, today we're going to upload or create a Google Doc or a Google Sheet. We're going to practice downloading that doc or sheet, and then we're going to practice sharing. We're also going to talk about how to comment, how to reply, how to edit. We're going to look at templates. We're going to look at docs and sheets inside of Canvas, and then we're going to look at embedding in Canvas. So there's a little tiny bit of difference in the way things are done. So I wanted to kind of make sure that we understood exactly what was going on. So before we begin, let's talk about how we get to what we're going to use for the purpose of this session. So first of all, I'm going to share with you the magic screen that will get you to your Google Tools. So when you get to the screen, you're going to put in your username and your password, and you'll click sign in. The next, I'm going to go ahead and do this because this is the part that gets a little tricky every now and then. We have issues, so I'll just go ahead and do this. This is where you click. Yes, it says Gmail, but if you don't click there, you can't get to anything else. So once you're in and you go get to this page with all the tiles, the Gmail is where you're going to click. So I clicked there, and this is what opens. Again, all I see is email. Over here, way over here on the far right, is a little waffle. If you click on the waffle, it's lunchtime, so I was hungry. If you click on the waffle, now you can get to your drive, your docs, your sheets, your slides, and everything else a la Google. So what can you put into your Google Drive? Pretty much anything. But for the purpose of today, let's talk about what you can put and use as a Google Doc or a spreadsheet, or even I even put on this presentations. So you can upload any of those file formats into Google. Well, how do you do that? I'm going to click on my drive, and then I'm going to click on the new button over here. So now you see when I click on the new button, I can create a new folder, file folder, a file upload, folder upload, or a Google Doc, Google Sheet, or Google Slide. So for this time, I'm going to click on file upload. Now, when you see the window that pops open, you can see that that kind of gives me an idea of anything that I might want to upload. So for now, I'm going to choose this Word document that's an old syllabus, and I'm going to click open. Now you see at the bottom, way down here, that it tells me that the upload is complete. Now I want to open what I just uploaded. Click. Wait patiently. So now you can see that there is a syllabus. However, you can't really do much with this. You can see it. You could share it from here, but if you click on Open With, And now you click on Google Doc. It's magic. And you wait because it's a little bit slow. Okay, now you can see you actually have the ability to click inside the document and make changes. So and remember, you are the owner of this document, so you can do, so let's say I wanted to make these a different kind of bullet. I want to click over here and I want to choose that, and now I have changed it. So you have the ability to put in a Word document. Notice up here right beside it, it has this little blue docx, and you can see that you can make the changes, and they are saved. Now, that is a caveat. It is saved on the version that lives in your Google Drive. It is not saved on the version that you uploaded from your computer. Okay, so if it's still on your computer and you make the changes here, they do not talk to each other. So the changes are only going to live in this specific document. So let's do a little review. So to upload a document, you're going to click on the New button, and then you'll select File Upload. Find and select the document you want to upload. Wait till it uploads. Click Open. Now, when you do that, the document will appear in your My Drive document list. Okay, so now if I want to go back and show you where that ended up, so this was Music 101 QM syllabus. So if I go back to my Google Drive and click back here, I didn't put this in any specific file, so my list is very long. You're going to scroll indefinitely until you come across where it says whatever it was you just opened. And it was there. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so now you can find the file that's in your Google Drive. And you notice that I can open it as a Word doc, but I can also open it within Google, make edits. Those edits only apply to the version that you see in Google, not to the one that you uploaded from your computer. All right, so now we're going to do something a little different. So let's say you have something you would like to create and you want to make something new. So now you're going to click on the New. And for the sake of this, I'm going to click on a sheet. And sooner or later, it will open. All right, so now you have basically a spreadsheet. So you can put data in it, you can put formulas, you can do anything in the spreadsheet that you want to. Notice that automatically the title is untitled. I highly suggest one of the first things that you do after you open a new Google Sheet is give it some kind of name. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for you to find. So I'm not going to teach you how to use spreadsheets. That's not what the webinar is about, or docs. I'm trying to help you get used to using Google to make your life a lot easier so you don't ever have to worry about having a thumb drive again. All right, so if I don't do anything to this, by the way, when I click on it, it doesn't do anything. I don't have to go trash it or anything else. But let's say I look at a document that I already have. So we'll look at this one called A Month of Google. If I right-click on that, I now have a lot of other options. I can get a shareable link. I can add it to a workspace. I can add a shortcut. I can move it. I can star it. I can rename it, and et cetera, et cetera. So I can actually even download it as a PDF or Word document from here. So if I go back, though, and I click on New now, and I want to click on Google Sheets, if I hover over the arrow, now I have two options. I can either open a blank spreadsheet or I can open from a template. And that's the same as for Google Docs. So if I click on Google Docs, wait, okay. Now you can add and begin to add anything you need to this instance. And when you do, you will see that it appears. But what's really nice is, so if I start this out with a simple title, okay, and I don't do anything else, if I pop up in here to the where it's now untitled and I click, it automatically takes whatever is at the beginning that you have just typed and makes it the title. So that's a nice little tool. So the other thing that I'm going to show you just quickly is, let's say I want a photo. So if I click on search the web, I can actually search for any images from the web within the Google Doc without having to go anywhere else. If I click on it and I click down at the bottom, insert, it'll take a second. And ta-da. Okay, so you can add images really easily that way. So that's a really beautiful thing about using the Google tool. So let's go. All right, so to create a new doc or sheet, you can click on the new button and then you choose whether you want a doc or a sheet. The document will open, obviously it'll be untitled, and then I showed you how you can automatically start in the document and then click up in the top and it makes the title. Or you can also choose the file from your Google Drive and change the name. So here we go. I'm going to give you a little homework and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to create something in your Google and use a Google Doc. Ready, set, go. All right. Hopefully everybody had a little time and made a little document and called it Making Some Sense Out of Chaos. I'm pretty sure that's the story of our life right now. All right, so downloading and sharing. So you do have some options once you've created your document and what you want to do with it. So downloading from Google Docs. So you're going to get to your drive and then you can select one or more Google Docs to download and select download from the more actions menu. When you select multiple files for downloading, they will be compressed into a zip file. So if you're taking them away from Google and you pick a whole bunch, they're going to be in a zip file. Then you're going to have to make sure you unzip it before you can get into them. But let's just talk about doing something fairly simple from the doc or file. Let's look at the options. So I'm going to go back to that document that I shared just a minute ago with Bugs Bunny on it. So from here, if I wanted to download this, I could click on File and Download. So when I hover over Download, notice that I have lots of options. The ones that are used the most, of course, are Microsoft Word or PDF. But you do have some others if you chose to use them. So you could download that, which is fine, and then you could send it as an attachment if you needed to. Or you can go over here to share. And did you notice when I hovered over that for a very brief second, it said private only to me. So when you are working with Google, you have lots of options on what it is or who it is you want to share things with and how you want them to be able to access the document that you are sharing with them. So to change who would have access to this document, the first thing I'm going to do is click on the word change. Now, when I do that, you see there is a URL here and it says copy the link. However, if you notice underneath it says restricted, which means only people that are added, which would be just me, can open the link. So let's say I wanted to make it available to just people within the VCCS. So I could choose that. And now if you notice, there is an option that's now popped open to the right that says viewer. So let's, I want somebody to view this document, but I don't want them to be able to do anything to it. All right, so that would be a choice. Or you could make them a commenter, or you can make them an editor. If you give them editing privileges, that means they can do anything to it that they would like. Now, the option with Virginia Community Colleges that you see here means that whoever you share this with has to be on or has to log into their MyGCC or their MyVCCS account, which is okay if it's within Canvas and you're in a browser that Canvas is open where you've logged in. But for example, I wanted to show this because this is something that happened to me earlier today, even though I was the owner of this account. When I went to add a document, I was in a browser where I was not logged in using my VCCS account. So what happened is, I'm going to show it to you, I promise I didn't forget, I was just getting it open, is what you see here. So this is my Canvas account. I used my Google Drive, but now I can't view it because I'm not logged into my VCCS.edu account. So to avoid having that problem with you or your students, when you choose the option choose public, anyone on the internet with this link can view. You did not just put this on the internet for everybody in the world to see. You're only making it so that anyone who has the link can view it. Or if you made them a commenter, or if you made them an editor. Whatever your choices are. If you make it public, you will probably have a lot less frustration with people who are trying to view it, because so many people have multiple Google accounts. Sometimes it becomes very difficult. When you've done that, you can click done. So now you have the link and you can share it. And I'm going to go back. So let's say I forgot where the link was. So now if I click share again and I click copy link, it automatically gets copied to my clipboard, and anywhere I go and paste it, it will show up and it will be clickable for someone else to be able to view the document. So as you can see, we have click on the blue share. Now, if you're in Google Sheets, it works exactly the same way, except for your share button at the top will, instead of blue, will be green. Same options for changing it, restricted, community colleges, or public. And then Google Sheet, exactly the same thing, except like I said, the icon, the share button is green. So now we want to talk about a little bit about commenting or collaborating. So if you click the share icon and then you add people, let's go back and show you where that is, because I didn't talk about it when I did it before, so I want to make sure you can see it. Let's move this. So now if I click share, this is where I could add someone. So I happen to have a lot of people already here, so if I wanted to add somebody to this document, I could type in their name. By the way, if I've typed it in a lot, it'll automatically show up. And click this. Now, I know that this is not going to work because the account that is attached to your germana.edu account is not Google, so it's going to fuss. So let me delete that. Now, I happen to know what for his username is, so I'm going to type that in. Now I know for sure that he can now edit the document. And I can add a note if I want to in a message, or I could just make him a commenter. So he can't do anything, but he can put comments on the side. So now I can click send. Well, I did click send and nothing happened. Oh, there we go. It's gone. So now there was an email sent that says, hey, Paige is trying to share a document with you, and you'll be able to open it from there. It does not go to your germana.edu account. It goes to your email.vccs.edu account. Now, as you can see, the commenting that happens right on the screen, and you can comment with someone right away. So as soon as I sent this and as soon as you open it, the person who is the commenter can comment. But you can't delete anything. If I go back to the share option and I see this option commenter, now I want to change it to, now I have some other options. From here, I can choose to let him become the full editor, only temporary access, just plain straight up give the document, or remove. So I'm going to say editor, and I'm going to click save. So now, if Forrest wanted to, he could actually go in and change the picture or change anything that I had done and not just be able to comment on it. There are also some advanced sharing options, and to do that, when you click on the share, in the right corner is a little gear. And if you see the little gear and you click on it, this is the window that pops open. So you do have the option to uncheck. Editors can change permissions and share. Or you can choose viewers and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. Now, if you remove that, that means they literally could only look at it while they were on the document. They would have no way to download it or to print it or to make their own copy in their own Google Drive. So for your second activity, I would like for you to get the doc, open the sharings, get a link, and do something with it. Also, you can download it as a Word document to your computer, and you could open the sharings and just and share that document with whoever you like to share it with so you can collaborate. So we're not going to stop, collaborate, and listen. We're going to take a 2-minute pause and let you all do some work on the Google Doc. All right. Hopefully you were able to make some sharing options appear for you. And now let's go on. So next, we're going to talk about comments, replies, and edits. Comments. So to make a comment, you can select the text you'd like to comment on and then click Add Comment. You can put the comment in the box. If you want to ask someone specifically and you know their email, you can click on plus and add their email address. And then basically it sends them a notice that you have been assigned something. You also can comment to a specific person, or you can click the little box and then comment or assign, and I'll show you what that means. So let's go back to the document. Now you can see bugs, and I'm going to comment on this image. So I'm going to click on the image, and up here at the top, it says comment history. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on plus comment. So now you can see my name popped up. And you can just leave a comment. Okay. Now, that's just a comment, doesn't really, mean anything. But now let's say I wanted to put something else in this document. So I'm going to unselect that. And I'm going to put the cursor here, and I'm going to say, that's not what I want to do. And when that happens, you can click undo. It's beautiful, and everything shows back up again. So now I'm going to type in okay, so let's just pretend that that was something I want to make this assigned to someone. So I'm going to highlight it, and now I'm going to click over in the comment, and I'm going to add the plus. And now instead of this time just typing it out, I actually want to assign this to someone. So I'm going to type in here. Let me scroll up a little bit so you can see. And now you see it already brought up who I wanted to assign it to. And click on the assign button and then click assign. So now it's been assigned to someone. So that's how you can add a comment or assign something to someone. Now let's talk about editing. So when you begin to edit, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you see the editing mode turned on up here in the right. If you don't, you can also see that you have options for doing just suggestions or just for viewing. Okay, so let's say you want to make a suggestion. Then what if that does is it appears in a new color, and the text you mark or delete or replace is crossed out, but not deleted until the owner of the document actually approves the suggestion. So if you were using English as an example and you were suggesting edits for proofing or whatever, then what would happen is you would make those suggestions but not actually do the changes yourself. Then the changes would be applied and approved once the owner did them. So if you have any questions about that, that is in the edit option. So I'm going to go on. And so we're going to talk about, oh, nope, I want to talk about one more thing first, replies. So obviously you see that we're kind of have a little conversation going on here. If I wanted to reply to the comment, you can type in there and click reply. And then you do get an email that says, Paige has replied to your comment on blah, blah, blah document in your email. And if I go over to my email, you can, oh, nope, that's not it. I don't know where it went. Don't worry about it. You can see that you have the ability to comment on or reply to comments that are made on documents, which is a great way for students to collaborate on a project. So, third activity. Highlight the link in your doc you pasted earlier, comment about that link, and assign a task to someone you know that won't mind you assigning it to them. And if you want to use me, that's fine. And if you want to assign it to yourself at another email address. So if you have another Google account, you could do that as well. Or you can assign it to me at PED2604. And ready, set. All right, so let's go on. Templates. Sometimes we just don't want to be all that creative and we're kind of in a rush. Can't imagine why we had that happens, right? So you can click in actually you have more than that, but you have two places that already have pre-done templates for you. So you have doc templates, which you can find by going to oops, wrong one. My Drive, New, Docs. Now you have to hover for just a second and then from a template. So now you have all of these templates that you can use right away. By the way, this is a very long list, so please take some time to go check it out, all the things that you can find. So there are templates for you to use for docs. There are also templates for sheets. So if I'm in a Google Sheet and I want a template and I click here, there we go. So now I have a calendar, to-do list, attendance, gradebook, assignment tracker, expense reports, invoices, and so on and so on and so on. So please feel free to take some time to go through and check out the templates that are in your Google. There are also templates for slides as well. So now for the fun part, docs and sheets in Canvas. So now I've shown you how to find your drive. I've talked about adding a doc. I've talked about adding a sheet. I've talked about what you can do on a doc. I talked about, sheets. Now let's talk about what do we do with them? Why do we want to do it? And what do we do with them in Canvas? So give me 2 seconds. I need to move something. There's lots of Zoom windows going on here, so pardon me for. So now I'm going to go to Canvas. And you should see just a random open module section of a course. Remember when we were looking at the doc and we changed the sharing permissions and we made it public? If I wanted to, I could get that link and I could go to Canvas, click on the plus, click on the drop down here and click on external URL, paste that link that I just was from the document, give it a name, and click add item. Now, what does that do? Well, I'll show you. So if I click on it, it will open the document inside of Canvas. So if you, from here, if you notice, I can actually still click inside of this, but notice the comments are gone. And also notice up here, it says request edit access. So only because it thinks I'm not me over here, it's only allowing me to view this. However, if I had made the link public, then I would still, then I actually could edit it from this screen. So that's how you can add it in a module, just straight up as a link. I'm going to go back. Maybe. And now I'm going to click on this one that I already did that says embed Google. And I'm going to show you what it looks like if I did it inside of a page. So this is a document that is actually, it's an old syllabus. So you can see that, unfortunately, the document is a little wonky. That's a word. and it doesn't, and I would have to scroll to see the whole thing. This is not necessarily my most favorite way of viewing things inside of Canvas, but it does keep your students from having to go outside of Canvas and back into Canvas and outside and in. The other thing is you do have it does have the options for students to add to their own drive. They wouldn't be able to do anything with it except make a copy, but there, and of course you can see here that you would have to request access in order to do anything to it. So these are options, or something that you would use if you were sharing materials that you wanted students to just view that you'd worked on, and you didn't want them to really do anything with it. It wasn't an assignment. There wasn't any collaboration necessary. You just wanted it to be inside of Canvas. The other thing is if you notice, since this is Google, if I were to go into my Google Drive, find this document, make any changes, they automatically would be sent to wherever that document was found. If it was found in 75 Canvas courses, then all 75 would have it at the same time. I would not have to go into each individual one and remove the old document and upload the new document. Once I make those changes inside my Google Drive, they get pushed out to everything that is attached to that. So that's something else to keep in mind. So what does it look like when you're inside of Canvas and it asks you, okay, what to do? So anywhere, announcement, page, an assignment. I'm going to show you how to do assignment different though. Quiz, but let's just say for the purpose of now, we'll say a page or an announcement. So you would open either one. You would go to the rich content editor. You would click on the Google app, and then you would copy and then you could either copy and paste the link inside, or you could click embed. And what you saw on the document I showed you was embed. If you just click link, then it puts a link inside of the rich content editor. It does not put it on the outside side like I showed you in the modules. Now, I'm not going to read this slide to you, but the reason that I put this in here is because you will have access to this deck afterwards. So I'm going to walk you through the entire process, and then after this is all over, you will get, you can go to the website that I'll give you at the end, and in 48 hours or so, the video and the slides will be there for you to use. So let's go back to Canvas. And I'm going to go back to modules. So I'm going to walk you through the steps that were on that slide. So I'm going to create a module for the purpose of this, and I'll call it what? And I'm going to click add. And then we know that Canvas always puts it at the bottom. So there's nothing in this. So now I'm going to click on the plus. And I'm going to click on assignment, new assignment. So if this is not the chosen option here, I should say that. So if assignment is not the one showing in this area right here, then choose assignment and then pick new assignment and give it a title. And I'm going to click add item. So now you can see that the icon has changed, so we know it's an assignment. So now I can click on the title of the assignment, click on edit, wait very patiently, give your assignment some instructions. And then the next part is the important part. So what you're looking at right this second is the new rich content editor that Canvas will switch over to at some point in the summer. However, for now, we have the old one, but I'm going to show you the new one, and then I'm going to show you the old one. So to find what I was looking for, if you click on the little plug over here, then you have a new window that pops open. And in that window, what you're going to look for is Google Docs Cloud Assignment. So I'm going to scroll down. Why is it not here? Okay, so this allows me to put this in as a Google assignment. But for the purpose of this, and since I don't want to confuse anyone, I'm not going to do that. So just give me 2 seconds. So let's, while I'm hunting for a course that has the old rich content editor, take a look at those instructions. So it's the same way that you're going to create anything, and the key comes after you decide that you want to use a Google assignment. Now I've got it. Now we're good to go. Now that should look familiar to everyone. So now from here, I can put the instructions. And I'm going to click on the V. And this is where, oh no, I'm not clicking on the V. That's wrong. Now you're going to scroll down and give it some points. Put it in a group. Leave it as points. Submission type. Click on the drop down and choose external tool. Now choose find. And hopefully I got to check and make sure that yes, you can see it. Okay. So now you're going to scroll down until you see Google Docs Cloud Assignment. Click on that. And then click on select. My computer does not like me today. There we go. Waiting. I think I broke Canvas or Google or maybe just the internet. Hold on, let's do this. Let's back out. I made it very angry, so I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit happier. I'm going to try one more time. So now I'm going to click. There we go. Spinning wheel is a good thing. So I'm going to scroll down until I find something I want to use. Let's try the, oh, let's do this one. It's a Google Doc. So I'm going to click on that. And now you notice there's a check mark, and I also have a submit button. So you're going to click submit. And now you'll click select. Then you want to put a due date in, make it tomorrow, and then click save and publish. What's nice about this, and I know you see that it has the you need permission again, but what's nice about this is I've just created a cloud assignment, which means that students can click right here on this link and they automatically are made a copy that goes directly into their Google Drive. So they can, it will not do anything to your copy. It makes a copy for them. Then they can actually upload that same copy for the assignment for you to grade. So in the assignment submission, they would choose Google Drive, they would find that document and click on it, and then you would be able to view it in SpeedGrader. So, like I said, I really like this tool because I think that it works really nicely. So I want to also show you another assignment. For example, if you wanted students to collaborate on an assignment, I picked this one because, oh, let's see, come on now. Wow. Again, it's really very unhappy with me today. I can fix it though. If I go into, let's say this happened and you had a bunch of students saying, but I can't get to it, I don't know how, what am I supposed to do? What? Okay. Google is not liking me today. So it's supposed to be a Google slide that allows the student where they could actually create their own flashcards, which is a very nice thing for students to collaborate on, especially if they were getting ready for a final exam. You could put this in as an assignment and allow everybody access, and they could create their own set of flashcards to use for their final assignment. Google is just not happy with me and this and my browser today, so I'm gonna opt for using, and I'll show you what I was talking about on the other page. This is what the students would get a copy of. So they would have flashcards that they could use so that they would be able to comment. They could notice it's a template, so it's already got stuff on it. They could add things, subtract things, and then they would all end up with a copy of the flashcards for a final review. All right. The next thing I want to show you is, this is where you're going to, this is actually the same tool, so you can see what it looks like a little bit differently. So it makes a copy. It creates a folder in your drive and a subfolder for each class. It uses SpeedGrader, and it allows for multiple submissions. So you could do this for journaling if you really wanted to. Come on. And there is an example of what it would look like. If you wanted to find it in SpeedGrader, and you could see this was submitted several times, and you can change and you can comment directly on the document. So what does it look like for a student? This is exactly what I was telling you. So in the file upload, the students would click on Google Drive, or they can get their share link and put it in as well. So they have two options to how they would submit it to you. So we're at 1:55 and I don't like to run over, so I'm going to wrap it up. So we talked about how to upload or create a Google Doc or sheet. We talked about how to download and share. We also talked about how to comment, reply, and edit. I showed you where the templates were. We looked at docs and sheets in Canvas. We looked at, well, we tried to look at a doc or sheet inside of Canvas as an assignment. And then we looked at the embedding part of Canvas. So if you would take a moment and either jot this link down or copy or type it into your web browser and complete the survey for us, that would be great. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can always email or send me a message, and I will be more than happy to help you. Also on Fridays from 1 to 3, I will be in my Zoom room for answering of questions of any variety, Google, Canvas, Zoom, or other. And finally, thank you all for coming, and I hope that you have a great day. If you're looking for those videos and slide decks, you're going to find them on the website edtech.vccs.edu/webinars. Stop recording, please.